Hey, this will be a video chart on ticker symbol TRTC. We will take a look at the daily time frame. Before I get started, I would like to note to please read my disclaimer. So here we are looking at the chart, but before we even hop into this, and as you can see, just a monster of a move here. But before we get into the chart, I want to point out that literally a few minutes ago, you can see right here, actually, when I pulled it up a minute 54 seconds ago, a new press release just came out with an interview. So if you go to either Yahoo or Google Finance, any of those, or you can go to smallcapvoice.com, or you can just use the link within the press release. So multiple areas to get there. But there is an interview that was literally at the time of this video just released. So I'd encourage you to go and check that out and listen to that interview. But back to the chart here, and like I had stated, if you're unfamiliar with what kind of double bottoms look like, you can see there's one bottom, there's two bottom. This is what a traditional and a real double bottom is supposed to look like. If a double bottom is going to lead to a reversal, this is the sort of action you want to see. So just a monstrous day, but not only a day, past basically week for the chart. So I've done this one before, but it has been a while. So let's get things updated here. It talks about some supports and resistances, and then what to keep an eye on going forward. So before even getting into the price action, I just want to point out this volume. If you're familiar with charting and technical analysis, you know that on upwards moves, the bigger the volume, the better. And the growing of volume is just as important. And sure enough, as you can see, the trend line for the volume has definitely been up, with today's being the biggest it's had in a long time. And the other thing to note on this is while this volume bar is big for the number of shares traded, it's also trading for a higher price per share than what it was down here when you had these bigger volume bars. Obviously, there's going to be more shares traded when it's trading at 7 cents as opposed to 13 cents. So even with the higher share price, you're still getting this big volume bar. So just a nice sign of bullishness in and of itself, looking at just those couple attributes. So let's talk about some supports here. There were a bunch of resistances going into the past couple of days, but just basic technical analysis 101, when a resistance is broken and closed above, it turns into a support. So we have a lot of updating to do. The first update here is just going to be turning this level right here at 13.5 cents into a level of support that was a resistance. This is going to be more of an ideal level. The price did barely close above it, so if the price were to fall below here, by no means is that any reason to panic or anything like that. But nonetheless, technically speaking, it is still a level of support. The next one's going to be right around this area. You can see all sorts of times where it acted as resistance there, and then there again, and then there. But this has been broken, so this is also one of the newest levels of support, and this level is at 0.125. Next level of support, it's going to be right here. And again, that was actually make my life a little easier here. We'll just do some copy and pasting. Was from all these previous highs over here. This level is at 10.5 cents. And then the big level of support for the chart is going to be this purple line here. This was a very stubborn level of resistance, but you can see here when the price did get above it, the rest is history. This 50-day simple moving average is valued at 0.089, so 0.089 or 9 cents, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be definitely the key level that you want to see hold above, because remember, the price could drop down here, and as long as it finds support right there and then heads back up, when we go to map out our lows, so we'd say this set of lows right here, and then we have this next set of lows. So then when we would go to draw the all-important trend line, by connecting the lows, we would still be able to draw an uptrend line. So I know nobody would want to see it go down there, but the point being, as long as the 50-day simple moving average, as long as the price can hold above there, then it's going to be higher lows, and higher lows lead to the ability to draw uptrend lines. And uptrend lines, assuming you're long, is the name of the game and what you want to be able to do. So I'm not saying it will go down there, but the point being, this is definitely the level now where you want to see the price stay above here, and the longer it does, this will eventually start to curl up. In fact, it's already starting to flatten out when you look closely here, so the longer the price can now maintain above it, the overall trend is going to shift bullish as soon as this starts to curl up. Now for resistance levels, we actually have to scrunch up the chart because we have to go back into quite a bit of history of the chart to figure out where these next levels of resistance are going to be. So the first level of resistance the price needs to get through is right here, and I think actually it bounced right off of it today, which wasn't a surprise. But you can see here, acted as support a few times and then acted as a resistance on that day, and this level is at 14 cents. Today's high was 14 cents, so not shocking or anything, because this is an area of resistance. I'm actually going to make that line a little skinnier because if this volume keeps up, I don't foresee this putting up much of a fight at all. But again, technically it is still a level of resistance. After this level, the next level of resistance is going to be up here. And this comes from, you can see multiple times back here in the past, acted as support, 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 and then when the price did drop below it right here, you can see multiple times acted as resistance. So this level right here is going to be at 17 cents. So after 14 cents, pretty much clear sailing up until 17, and then the next level of resistance after that is going to be the top of this former channel from way back when, and that is up there at 19 cents. So I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm sure I'll be back to update the chart if the price can get up here and start to put closes above these levels, which may be sooner than later given the way the chart's been going. But all in all, as you can see, great looking chart, and we'll just have to see how long this momentum continues. But at the end of the day, like I've rehashed, as long as the price remains above this purple line, the 50-day simple moving average, and the overall trend, this will start to curl upwards and trigger, the long-term trend as bullish. So if there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. And thank you for listening.